As we've been exploring, Advent is a season in which we practice waiting. The tradition of gift giving at Christmas preserves some sense of this waiting. I remember as a kid, I would be allowed to open one present on Christmas Eve, but I didn't want to just stop at one gift, and it seemed like an eternity to wait just a few more hours until morning. God has filled much of our lives with waiting. We wait to grow up, we wait to find a spouse, we wait to marry. Even in the small things, we wait between meals, between Sunday church gatherings, for the seasons to change or for class to end. At Advent, we have a unique opportunity to reflect on this process. Today we will think about what our response should be when the waiting ends. The Bible often talks about waiting for a promised child. Eve was promised an offspring that would crush the serpent's head. Sarah was promised a son, and she even laughed at the thought and tried to manipulate God's plan. Mary was promised Jesus. Hannah, Samuel's mother, waited not just 9 months for a son, but years. And in many ways, her story parallels Mary's. Hannah's son was set apart for service in the tabernacle even before he was born. And Gabriel told Mary that her son would be the promised king of Israel, whose kingdom would never end. Samuel was given to Eli for service at the tabernacle when he was just a boy. And when Jesus was young, he too stayed at the temple doing his father's work. Samuel would grow up to be the high priest and a prime example to those who would succeed him. Christ is our great high priest, superseding all others. Perhaps the most interesting parallel between these two births is the mother's responses. Hannah's prayer beautifully parallels Mary's. You can look at these prayers in 1 Samuel 2 and Luke 1. They serve as patterns for our response to God's blessing at the conclusion of a time of waiting. This Advent, as you look forward to Christmas, prepare yourself for its arrival by reflecting on the work and glory of God. Fill your mind with God's mighty deeds so that when he proves himself faithful, fulfills his promises, and even when Jesus arrives again, you may easily pour out praise filled with the knowledge of who he is and what he has done.